Oh, wait, is it actually? Oh, shit. Yeah, wait, I actually got it. Awesome. I know there's a way, like, I can connect, I don't really want to share my screen, but hold on, wait, actually, I think I know what I can do. Well, I haven't opened up this in forever, but we'll have this open. Okay. I don't actually expect anyone to be in the stream, but it is what it is. That's just how the cookie crumbles. I don't like. Okay, so I don't plan on, like, it might be a face cam stream, we'll see, but I don't really want to, because, like, I don't really like how I look. So, as most streamers will go. But hello, everyone. I know I have not touched this channel in I don't know how long, maybe a little over a year, maybe. But it's really nice to see everyone again. It's nice to be back, I suppose. Okay, so this is basically just a Q&A stream. I don't really like I can share my screen. You know what? I will share, that way you guys aren't just staring at a blank screen. Okay, so basically all I'm doing this stream is it's just project unauthorized. Just answering a few questions. That's all. Nothing big. Hold on, is there a way I can, like, okay. Oh wait, I think I got it. We're good. Okay. But yeah, I don't really expect a lot of people to be in the stream. It's just it's Q&A while I finish up parts of the post for later today. But I imagine if you're already in the stream, you already know who I am, you're aware of who I am. But I'll do, like, a brief introduction. Hi, Shio Nagata, Rami Goji Dagwadera. Hello everyone, my name is Rami, or Fiverr. You may used to know me as Dashi or Mimi. I was the creator of the very semi-popular Slendypets storyline. It's originally what boosted my channel and what originally got my channel started. And it used to be the biggest thing on my channel and what I was known for, unfortunately. And basically blew up to a point where I was actually very shocked, because I honestly didn't expect Slendypets to get as big as it did. And it kind of put me in a kind of situation, because I didn't really know what to do, because Slendypets was originally just a alternative universe of Slendytubbies, but with my OCs and my friends' OCs. And then when it got, like, big to the point where, like, people were actually wanting more of Slendypets, it just became, like, a huge, like, hassle for me to deal with. And obviously, if you knew me back then, I did not have the greatest reputation. I wasn't the nicest person back then, unfortunately. And I know that sounds, like, really mean, but that's just the truth. So basically the stream is just answering any questions that people may or may not have for Project Unauthorized. It is still basically like well, hold on. Okay, maybe it's not a Q&A. I guess it would be more of it's an explanation of sorts. Let me see if I can I wonder if I can change this. I can't right now. Wait, no, I can. I can. Let me just change this to explanation instead of Q&A because you actually have to have questions for it to be a Q&A. So, a lot of people wanted Slendypets to come back. And I understand why they wanted it to come back because Slendypets was a huge catalyst and it was a huge thing. Everyone like that I knew at the time like really loved Slendypets, which I'm not judging. Like I understand why people liked Slendypets as much as they did. Cause it was silly AU where it was silly AU where you could see dogs and like other animals just gore. People were really into gore back then. They still kind of are to this day, which is like wild to me. So like people wanting me to continue Slendy Pets was like I mean, don't get me wrong, it was nice knowing that people had so much support for the AU that like they wanted more of it. But my problem was I just didn't have the love for Sunday Pets anymore. And after a while, you just get tired of like working on something that just doesn't make you happy anymore. Because it got to the point where I was working on Slendy Pets because people wanted me to. And obviously, that's not like how you should like work on things. You should work on a project because you want to work on a project. You know, that's the whole reason. It's like a little passion project. But with Sunday Pets, it eventually became more of a chore than anything. I didn't really want to work on the storyline anymore because it was just that's just what it was. It was an AU of Sunday Tubbies. And it was a huge hassle that I just didn't like. So that's what happened. Um and ultimately I came to the decision to just cancel it overall. Like I just wanted to stop working on unauthorized period. Just it. Like we're done. No more not project unauthorized, but like you know what I mean. No more Sunday Pets. I'm done with Sunday Pets, you know, no more. And then obviously there were a bunch of people who were upset that I did not want to continue working on it. But I also need people to understand that like you get tired of working on something that's not your original story after a while because like Slendy Pet started off as a Slendy Tubbies AU and I like don't get me wrong, I'm so grateful for like the little time of like fame, like even if it was small. I was grateful for the attention that I got from Slendy Pets that a lot of people were introduced to my channel through Slendy Pets. And I don't want anyone to get the wrong idea that like, "Oh, you're ungrateful, blah, blah, blah," you know, like, no, I'm very grateful, but I didn't want Slendy Pets to be the only thing that I was known for, because in hindsight and in all honesty, Slendy Pets was not a creative story. It was literally just Slendytubbies with my friends and my OCs. That was literally it. And sometimes they weren't the characters in Slendy Pets were taken from other people. Some of the characters that were added and like I was told they were my this is my OC. I want them in Slendy Pets. And like, oh, you're my friend. Okay, sure. It's a fun little story. It's not that serious. Then only come to find out that like certain characters weren't even like their OCs. They were just characters that they liked that they wanted to see like in a gory horror esque story, which rubs me the wrong way, but, you know, it's fine, whatever. So, it became an issue when I could be working on, like, something completely different, only to be bombarded in my DMs and stuff with people going, "Where's Slendypets? Where's Slendypets? I want more Slendypets." And I'm like, "Okay, yeah, but, like, that's not gonna make me want to work on it. If anything, it's just gonna make me hate working on it." So, ultimately, Slendypets had been on a indefinite, well, not even indefinite, it had been on a hiatus for a very long time. And the thing is, when something goes on hiatus for that long, it's not even hiatus, it was just like I openly said that Slendy Pets was canceled and that I was not ever going to touch the story again. And originally, that was the plan. I never intended to bring back Slendy Pets. It was meant to just stay dead because I wanted to move on to bigger and better things, and also just because, like, again, the story wasn't original. The story was like was something like completely just copied. It wasn't like my own original thingy. It was just OCs following the Slendy Tubby storyline, and they were animals basically. They were the pets of the Slendy Tubbies basically. That was the original concept. Was, oh, they're the pets of the fucking the Slendy Tubbies. You know, the little guys that go oh, but you know they're evil. Yeah, like especially like the big purple guy where he's just like rah. Yeah, this guy was supposed to be his pet originally. So like that was the original concept. Because if you back in the day, you would know that that was literally the concept. So like I don't know. So what ended up happening is after a while, I got kind of nostalgic, and I was like, "You know what? I think I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna look at some of my old Slendy Pets videos because those were some of my best videos on my channel. They're the ones with like the most views and stuff." So what ended up happening is I rewatched some of my old videos, and I was like, "Huh, you know, I actually didn't do half of a bad job animating all of this." And what happened was I had an idea. People really like Slendy Pets. So when I mentioned the idea of bringing it back after doing anniversary stuff, like one day a year, August 18th of every year, after it was canceled, I would redraw or mention one thing that had to do with Slendy Pets. So what ended up happening is I presented the idea of, okay, so chat, what do we think about Slendy Pets, but it's revamped? Like, what do you guys think about me bringing back Slendy Pets? And I got so many people who were genuinely excited at the idea of bringing back Slendy Pets. And obviously, it wasn't going to be called Slendy Pets anymore. So after that, I didn't post about it for another year. I kept it to myself, but throughout the year, I was quietly working on a revamped story for Slendy Pets. And eventually I decided, obviously I don't want to call it Slendy Pets because, like, well, come on. They're no longer going to be associated with Slendy Tubbies. It's their own little shtick, their own little thingy. So after a long, long process of rewriting the story, rewriting characters, giving them their own like little backstories and stuff, ultimately what was decided was I called it Project Unauthorized. And it is a infection-based horror story. And it is now completely original. It has nothing to do with Slendy Tubbies. There's obviously a few references to it because you know, you gotta know the roots. You gotta know where the original idea of this came from. So, yeah, and whenever I posted Project Unauthorized, it got so much positive feedback. So many people were so happy to have Slendypets again, but obviously it wasn't Slendypets anymore. It was now Project Unauthorized. And I honestly did not expect that many people to be happy that it was brought back. So later today, as I mentioned in my post from yesterday on my story, Project Unauthorized will be getting a new post today. Multiple throughout the week based on the poll so far. I'll have to go back and check that because I do believe we may have gotten a few more. So I'm gonna check that out really quickly. Okay, so from the looks of it, it's kind of a 50, so we'll still give it a little bit of time. But basically, Slendy Pets is now Project Unauthorized, and it is a horror-based infection story. And it originally starts off as sort of like a mystery sort of thing, like a missing persons case, and slowly delves into the horrors of these fake parasites and diseases that show up or that was being lasted inside of Ravencorp's labs. So Ravencorp is a pharmaceutical company in the fake world of Project Unauthorized. This is where, if you remember the protagonist, this is where Dream Wish comes from. So Dream Wish works for Ravencorp. He is one of the higher executives. He basically oversees a lot of the projects that they do. So where Ravencorp is a pharmaceutical company of sorts, they own laboratories, they make medicine, they come up with new like ideas and inventions to help with animals who have like physical disabilities, mental disabilities, all that stuff. You know, they're the primary like facility that creates stuff like that. And what the public does not know, though, with most stories like this, with like pharmaceutical companies is they're doing some shady shit. They are experimenting on animals, so like it's not just well, I mean, you'll come to find later on that like it's not just like Eason, Daniel, Cody, and Jaden that get experimented on. They've been doing experiments for years. It's how they find out like what works and what doesn't, you know, like people volunteer for this shit. So Project Unauthorized is an unauthorized experiment between a bunch of like a bunch of like and they're basically seeing like certain within these parasites and they're like I want to see how this affects like certain beings. But here's the thing, it's not any like Ravencorp like worker. It's if anyone remembers the original story, they character's name used to be like Gemstone. She was a little bunny rabbit. Gemstone is effectively a Psy bunny, so like everyone knew that she was turned into a robot. That does not change. Um, so basic, um, she performs. Well, she's not a she anymore. That she is now a he. But he performs an unauthorized experiment, and what he does is he initially tricks Daniel, Eason, Cody, and Jaden into coming to Ravencorp for an experimental medicine thingy. So basically, like they're four college students who are looking to like they moved in together and like they're all pursuing their own little dreams, but like they want to live together as friends. Because like Daniel and Eason are still a couple. Because I know everyone fucking loved Into Live, as it used to be called. So Eason and Daniel are still very much a couple. They are engaged. And Cody and Jaden are in a relationship as well. They are girlfriend and boyfriend. So the four of them agree to go to this little thingy that Ravencorp is hosting because you know they think, oh, we're gonna get money, you know, we're gonna get paid for this, you know, this is really gonna help with like rent and stuff. And it turns out it's not actually like a pharmaceutical thingy that they're helping with. It's a fucking fucked up experiment run by Gemstone. I can't reveal his name because like that'd be spoilers, but we're gonna keep calling them So, what ends up happening is, basically, Jimbot, because like I said, I can't really reveal his name just yet. Um, he runs really fucked up unauthorized experiments on Eason, Daniel, Jaden, and Cody, and he experiments with these mutated variants of diseases that they have inside of Ravencorp, basically trying to see like basically to plan ahead. So they're trying to come up with like stronger medicines to combat these mutated strains of infections and viruses and parasites that they have, just in case anything happens. That's what it's for. So, what happens is while he's experimenting on them, he decides, I kind of want to see, like, I know we have these mutated parasites and diseases, so I want to see what they do to mammals. So Gembot essentially injects different parasites and diseases into them. So like with Daniel's the first one to be experimented on. In Project Unauthorized, when the post is ready, he'll be referred to as Subject One. So he's the first one to be experimented on, and he is injected with a mutated strain of a certain disease. And over the course of a few weeks, he watches the process of like the disease taking a toll on their body. So like it's he basically watches how it mutates him basically. And it's a really fucked up mutation. It fucks his body all to hell. Like he's mangled basically. And then because it doesn't just stop with Daniel. First like Jim injects Daniel with the parasite, and then when the time calls for it, he injects Eason with a mutated strain of parasite. And I can't really tell you what parasite it is. You'll have to wait for the post. And then so on and so forth. He injects stuff into Daniel, injects stuff into Eason, Cody, Jaden, And over the course of like 2 months at minimum, like their bodies start like changing and their DNA is mutated by the diseases and parasites, and then eventually it just kind of makes them go you know that was an interesting sound. I'm sorry. But basically, and that's kind of where we get the basic story of unauthorized experiments. They mutate, turn into these really fucked up grotesque versions of themselves, and Gembot basically decides, you know what? Like, fuck Ravencorp because they turned me into something I didn't want to be. I was an unauthorized experiment, so let's see how it feels when like we do an unauthorized experiment, and then let's see how it like feels when I reveal their dirty little secrets, blah 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 blah. So like I'm mad at them, I'm mad at the world. So with my creations, I'm not just a service bot anymore. So after they all reach the fifth stages of their infection, um unlike Slendypets, they aren't just confined to one area and then they slowly make their way out because they escaped because everyone's dead. What happens is Gembot ends up releasing all four of them into different areas of uh, of Ravendell, and they travel to like nearby counties, and the infection starts to spread. So there's four like so don't so like I need this to be known. It's no longer just one singular infection that came from a foodborne illness. No, 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 no. So Project Unauthorized is no longer just like, oh, it's a foodborne illness that killed people. No, it is now four separate illnesses. So that's a very important detail because each one of these new illnesses is spread through a different carrier. So there's going to be four infected classes because there's four diseases. So we've got the four stages of infection until they reach the mutation stage. Then there's 4 different infections. So the first one that will be covered in my post on Instagram when it's ready, because okay, basically Daniels is ready. He is ready to be posted. He is ready to go. Sends right now on my phone. Be covering is going to be Daniel's mutation. So his is a form of I don't like okay, I'm gonna get like really medical nerd here. I studied a few real life illnesses and diseases and plagues and stuff to make all of this. So what happens is with Daniel, he has a mutated version of a certain disease. Oh my god! Oh my god, I might actually die. There's no way I fucked that up that badly. Oh my god. Okay, I'm so sorry, guys. I'm having a bit of a stroke. I'm so fucking sorry. So, so, oh my god. Okay, I'm sorry. I gotta focus. I'm like, I'm fucking multitasking. Holy shit, lagging. So Daniel's his is ready, so I'll be able to like post his soon. So Daniel's is a mutated variant and a very contagious variant of a disease called hypertrophy or hypertrophy. It's hypertrophy, I'm pretty sure, but like basically it's called extreme muscle hypertrophy. So it's a form of disease where the body increases proteins or myofibrils, and it boosts both strength, density, and this energy rich fluid of like it's not myoglobin, it's sarcoplasm sarcoplasm, I think. Basically, it's just the fuel, like it's just the fluid that helps build up your muscles, basically. So it's like a very extreme version, a mutated version of muscle hypertrophy. So it like makes him like basically anyone who has this particular mutated variant of the disease, it's it spreads through contact. And when I say contact, I'm not talking like oh just touching and sneezing. No. This particular variant of this disease that Daniel has spreads specifically through fluids. So basically anything that can enter the orifice. So like you don't want like blood, tears, or saliva to enter like your eyes, nose, mouth, or any open wound, and it can spread the disease that way. So Daniel's infection is what we call classes, but if you've seen Slendy and you knew what he was called back then, it was very simple. His name was just D Live and the fucking name of the infected class that he's going to be. Um, this variant of infected are very strong. They're very like bulky. So like I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm really trying to like focus, but um yeah, so basically that's the name of the class of infected that he is. So it's not just like oh he's the only variant of this infected. No, this is the kind of disease he carries. Each of the main characters carry a different disease. So like with Daniel, like I explained, it's a mutated variant of muscle hypertrophy. And with Eason, oh, I cannot fucking wait to show you guys what Eason looks like. Eason's is a form of ringworm. Well, not really ringworm, but it's a worm parasite basically. And all of the designs for the infected for this post, they're all loosely and heavily based on their old designs. So like I won't tread too far from the original works, like with how they used to look. So you don't have to worry about like, oh, look nothing like how they used to. Oh my god, blah blah blah. Like they don't look like, oh, they don't look like Slendypets anymore. Well, I mean they're not supposed to be, but like you know what I mean. Like, oh man, like they don't look like the source material. They don't look like they used to. Oh, they look chopped. Blah. Go back to how it used to be. I like their old designs better. Ah, you know. So like their designs, their revamps for the infected designs do not stray too far from what they looked like originally. So, something you can expect is D Live is still very much D Live. Holy shit! Oh my god! I just called him. Oh my god! Ew. No. Daniel. Daniel is nothing. Wait. Fully live anymore. Shut up. Gonna. There we go. We're gonna keep that. That's staying in the. Staying. No. Congratulations. But yes, Daniel is very much like he's huge. So like that's one thing that doesn't change. When he mutates, he still very much turns into like a giant like well a monolith of sorts. He turns into a behemoth. That definitely does not change cuz like I don't want to stray too far from the source material. So so I wish I could show you guys my phone screen, but I also don't want to like spoil the content because I really think you guys are going to enjoy Project Unauthorized. So I don't want to like reveal too much or at least reveal what I'm working on right now. But basically so that doesn't change. Daniel still very much turns into a giant behemoth of sorts. Hi Ghost. Hi feel Oh, I just realized I haven't been checking the messages. Hold on, let's Oh, hello everyone. I'm so sorry. I should have been reading the chat while I was explaining. So, as I was saying, so Eason, I will say one. I think out of all of them, I think Eason's design has changed the most out of everyone, and I really think you guys are gonna love Eason's design because I put a lot of work into creating his redesign as an infected. Okay, hold on. Get off my screen. How do I get rid of you both? Yeah, this isn't about you. We're not talking about you losers anymore. We're going to talk about the fan favorites. All right. So, speaking of, I just finished Eason. Now I got to do the very fun one. I got to work on Cody. Basically all of them are almost ready to go. I just need to do some finalizations, like finish the finer details. And then everyone will be ready to post. But again, we're done talking about Eason. We're done talking about Daniel. We're done talking about all of them. We are now going to be talking about the fan favorites, the ones that everybody loved and wouldn't shut up about at the time. Every time I draw them, they wouldn't shut up about them. We're gonna talk about Cody and we're gonna talk about Jaden. Um Cody's infected design definitely changed a good bit because I remember I made his design back then very exaggerated. So his design isn't as exaggerated anymore. If anything, out of all of the infected, when it comes to Project Unauthorized, Cody is probably the least complicated infected variant. And you will see like why that is. So he doesn't have like the giant blades on his back anymore. You know, he's just a regular pupper, but just very much malnourished. um, with Jaden, she's definitely. I mean, her design hasn't changed all that much either. She's
Oh, it had a little
still very.
I think it's your phone.
Oh, okay.
Did you order a phone?
Me.
Can we not be opening my mail?
Like right now? Like hold on. Never mind, guys. You're gonna have to wait for me to explain. You're gonna have to wait. I'm gonna make you wait longer. Oh yeah.
As the base for it. Because it won't take long to throw it together. And then I'll show you how to do the lazy stitch. You can do that at work.
Okay.
It shouldn't take you long to get it done because it's kind of small. But
it's kind of small.
Yeah,
okay, that's fine.
It's a small little pattern. Shouldn't take long.
That's fine.
I love you. I'll let you back up what you're doing.
Okay, I love you too. Thank you. Okay. Let's just clarify. You guys can hear me now. Cool. Okay, I think you guys can hear me. I think I got my microphone back on. I don't even know if it was off. You guys could probably hear that conversation. Probably hear like blah. All right. I'm back. Sorry about that. Just had to deal with something. My new phone came in because my old one is. I've had this one for a few years now, so time for a replacement, obvi. So, where was I? Oh, yes. So, Jaden, or well, she used to be called Bundash. Her and Cody were definitely like some of the fan favorites I've noticed, or I had noticed at the time, was people really loved these two. So, these two, not much changed about their designs. I will say Cody has the most simplistic design out of all of them, while I think Jaden, in my opinion, I think Jaden has one of the scarier mutations in the thingy. Oops, not what I meant to do. Yeah, we're gonna add like a little blusher. There we go. Yeah, sweethearts. They're so in love. They are so in love. But so with these two, you can see them. So, like I said, their designs have not changed all that much. Jaden, I think one of the biggest thingies with her infected design, like with her in particular, is I'm very like proud of how she looks. She is one of the scariest infected designs because she is one of the more dangerous infected classes in Project Unauthorized. I can't obviously I cannot tell you what her infection class is, but she is very much one of the most lethal and one of the most dangerous forms of infected. Um, you do not want to catch the particular disease that Jaden carries. Not only because getting this infection is extremely painful if you don't die in the process while getting afflicted with it, but it's also like one of the if you do end up getting infected and you somehow survive the attack, or you know you somehow like get infected and not like through a host itself, like something that's contaminated with the disease. It's one of the most painful transformations you can go through because unlike Eason and Cody, the kind of disease that Jaden will be carrying, it doesn't kill you. Like it can reanimate you, but the disease that she has, the ones that she'll be carrying, it doesn't kill you if you become infected. This one keeps you alive, but it is one of the most painful infections that you can have. It's like one of the most painful mutations. And it's because that her particular variant is capable of rebuilding the body after it suffered like huge like bodily damage, and it's capable of like growing limbs. And back then when Slendypets was still kind of like badly written, um originally the mutations didn't hurt, you know, like they couldn't feel it because they were already dead. They were zombies. But in Project Unauthorized, you are not a zombie. You are a host. You are not completely undead. There is something always keeping your body alive in Project Unauthorized. There's something that'll constantly, like, you may not be fully conscious, but there's something puppeting your body. You are now the host to a disease, and it will do whatever it wants with you. And it seeks more food. It seeks more places to like to spread. It seeks out more hosts. It seeks to multiply, and the only way it can multiply is by infecting other people and other mammals. And um, the aquatic life is not safe either. There is going to be another variant of one of these particular diseases that one of these four have that can infect the aquatic life. So no, aquatic animals and amphibians are not safe either from this infection. Hold on, I'm gonna read. Is there a reason why she is the most lethal? Yes, there is a very big reason why Jaden is the most lethal out of all of them. And it's mainly because of how violent this particular infection is. So it's also the reason why the class of infected that she is has the name that it has, because this particular class of infected are very persistent. I will put it that way. So, Jaden is definitely one of the more dangerous of the cast and the crew. She's also like she is some fun facts about the infected with the main cast. Jaden is the fastest of them. And while she's very fast, she's also like not very good at she doesn't have a lot of mobility, if that makes sense. Like you'll be able to see once you like see her infected design. She's very very fast, but you know, she's definitely wouldn't recommend getting chased by her. Let's see. Not so fun fact, actually rather sad fact. Last year, I remember you mentioning somewhere on your Project Unauthorized Q&A, they were thinking of getting married and considering yes, Cody and Jaden were at some point planning to get married. The idea was for them to get married after they finished their courses in college, which is where like this is why they moved over to Ravendale, because they were going to college together, taking different courses, and they planned because Daniel and Eason were already about to get married. They were engaged. Jaden and Cody were planning to get married too, and Jaden and Cody talked about having possible children. But due to the events of Project Unauthorized, obviously Cody and Jaden can no longer live their dreams of getting married or having children anymore. Let's see. I was about to ask, are they like self-aware, assuming they didn't die in the process? Yeah, no. They're not fully dead. Well, they're not dead at all. They're not dead. They're not zombies. They're infected. Message restricted. Why is it restricted? Why is this restricted? Why did you restrict this message? No, I want to see what they said. Why did you restrict this message, YouTube? Let's see. I will say, like again, they're not dead. They're just infected. They aren't. Some of them are conscious. Some of them aren't. It's why some of them can form sentences and others can't. You know, it really just depends on the mammal. Is there a cure for them, or is the transformation permanent? As of right now, no, there is no cure for any of the diseases right now. Chances are, even if there is a cure, once they reach the transformation stage, they probably will be uncurable and will probably have to be put down or euthanized. Zooms forward and just smashes into a wall or something because they can't stop themselves. You're not wrong. Not wrong. I can see Tennessee having PTSD with his sister. Oh, Tennessee, yes. Trust me, he goes through a lot in the story. He has his own little arc and he has his own little like storyline. But yes, the PTSD and some other letters are very real. Do the infected have any time span to live after being infected? Or are they always going to be still standing? Certain mutations can limit or make them stronger. Just really depends. But most of them who do get infected and they mutate, chances are that the infected will still stand as long as like their brain is still intact. It's the same thing with like the infected in Left 4 Dead, or not Left 4 Dead, and 28 Days Later, The Walking Dead, where you have to destroy the brain because the brain is where all the function happens. So, depending on like what disease they have and what mutation they get, really depends on like how long they'll last, because some mutations can actually fuck a host over and will actually get them killed faster. There's one infected that I will be posting that a mutation that can kill somebody, mainly because of the I'll reveal him later on, but mutation is very much not good, and he doesn't stay alive very long because there's only so much that the parasite can do to like move a body that's like been basically. So yeah, it just really depends on the infected and what variant they've got. I can only imagine if there is a be putting them through more. If you did cure them, yes, there would be a lot of like very bad negative side effects, like with their with their mutations. It can it'll permanently affect how they live for the rest of their lives, and if anything, it would just make their life harder. Some of them would be brain dead, others would have to lose parts of their bodies, others would be mangled beyond repair and probably wouldn't even live, even if you like there'd be some that would only be kept alive through the infection, so curing them would be killing them basically, and you'd be wasting the cure as well. Do they become harder to kill the longer their infection festers? No. They become harder to kill depending on which variant they have, and depending on if they're mutated or not. There's my answer. I only ask a certain MLP infection I used as an example, false alicorn syndrome. But I do love all the infection. Yeah, I went for that. Oh yeah, the MLP infection AUs. Oh yeah, we love those. One of my what's your favorite? Like, what's y'all's favorite MLP infection AU? Even though it's not being worked on anymore, one of my favorites was the black tree disease. That one was one of my favorites. Virus Z is my favorite. Ooh. Besides Jaden, Swamp Fever. Oh yeah, Swamp Fever is the good one. So besides Jaden, does the others have siblings too? They do. Jaden obviously has a little brother. We met him whenever I first posted Project Unauthorized Revamp. Jaden has a little brother. His name is Tennessee Tinsley. He's like one of the main protagonists of Project Unauthorized. Cody has 3 younger siblings. Wait, no, he has 2 younger siblings and he has 1 older brother. Daniel is an only child, while Eason has an adopted sister. But they don't really play a big role in the story, so they probably will not be significant and probably will not be mentioned. Let's see. The Rot, My Little Worms, My Little Curse, oh, Harmony Syndrome, and the Cookie Virus. Oh, I love the Cookie Virus. I don't really have a proper favorite, but I did wonder why almost all of them went for Applejack's Family first. Yeah, notice that trend. Ooh, the Hive Mind. That's a good one. Let's see. Do they had any symptoms during the infection that some of them suffered? Wait, what? Hold on. You gotta give me a second. I'm a little slow. Do they had any symptoms during the infection some of them suffered? Do you mean that as in like, do they show symptoms before they turn? Or like before they mutate with certain diseases? Is that what you're asking? Because they do have symptoms. All of these have symptoms that like I'll give a description of the symptoms when the posts are ready. before. Yeah, there are symptoms before they turn. They like the little thingy that I'm making, the little like classifications thing will tell you what the symptoms are of like what disease they have. Actually, I could probably post right now, but let me go check the poll thingy to see if they want it to be one giant post or if they want me to post it throughout the week. Multiple posts throughout the week. Okay, that's the one we'll do. Okay, well, good news, guys. I'm going to go ahead and post Daniel's infection thingy. So you guys will get to see what infected Daniel looks like now. Yay! How fun! All right, let me get the slides ready. Okay, if you guys want to see Project Unauthorized and you want to check out the infection class thingies, they are available on my Instagram. So if you guys want to just hop up on there, I'll go ahead and start typing out the symptoms and what to look out for. There we go. Beautiful. Alrighty, well, while I get ready to post, do we have any final questions? Make sure it's the full text version of the info slide. Oh yeah, don't worry. I'm definitely going to double check before it gets posted. All right, do we have any final questions about Project Unauthorized? Any like pressing questions? Because once this is ready and everything's typed out, it will be going up on Instagram. Are there any characters from the OG AU scrapped in Project Unauthorized? Yes, there is. There's a ton of characters that got scrapped. There is a lot of them that no longer exist in Project Unauthorized. I wonder, does gemstone infection infection others besides the other 4? Oh, don't worry. Yes, gem definitely infects other variants and other people. Other variants? What the fuck am I talking about? He definitely infects other other mammals with the infection, especially where he releases the main 4 after they reach the mutation stage. Yeah, the infection spreads like wildfire. Sorry for my typo, by the way. Oh, don't worry, Phil. It's fine. You know it doesn't bother me. Let's see. Which character are you most excited for people to see? Eason or Eason or Jaden, honestly. Very excited for that. Let's see. What would everyone personally do if you were infected with one strain? Would you keep living and hope to find something to slow it down, or spare yourself the suffering and finish yourself off, or resort to amputation? Um all I'm going to tell you is the moment you reach the mutation stage, it's basically over. You pretty much do not have a fighting chance anymore. At that point, you might as well just accept that it's over. Amputation, depending on how you get infected, Amputation can or will not work, just depends. Is it like The Walking Dead where you got to catch the infection before it catches you? Yeah, basically, depending on how you get infected. Because I'll put it this way: some of the variants in the infection, like some of the diseases, do not spread through bites. I mean, like 2 of them do, but the other 2 don't. Well, okay, hold on, that's not completely true. They can spread through bites, but the issue is that's not the only transmission of the disease. It doesn't just transmit through bites. So if you get infected and it's not through a bite or an open wound, then amputation is not going to work. Why Jaden has her chest open? I cannot tell you that right now. You will have to wait till the thingy. You'll have to wait till the post goes up. I cannot explain it here because it is spoilers. But Jaden's chest being opened is based on something that can actually happen to a real person. But like I said, I cannot tell you what that is right now. While I'd imagine the likelihood is low in terms of it naturally occurring in someone's body, is immunity to the infection possible? Very, very, very unlikely, but yes, there is a very maybe 1 in 3,000 chance that someone could be immune to infection. Oh, my battery saver's on. Cool. Alrighty, guys. Well, Daniel is almost. Nope, I lied. Daniel is ready to post. So be keeping an eye out on my Instagram. I'm about to post the very first infection class that exists in Project Unauthorized. So I really hope you guys enjoyed. I hope my explanation was okay. I hope I answered some of your questions to the best of my ability. I know I stuttered a lot. I am not really great with speaking. I am known to stutter very frequently. I am big dumb at times as well, so I apologize. Hope this was a nice stream for you guys. It was lovely seeing some old faces in my stream again. Like, holy shit, dude. But I hope you guys have a lovely day, wonderful night, morning, wherever you're watching this from. And for the people who show up after the stream has ended, I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys have a lovely day, a lovely night. Take care of yourselves. Make sure to drink water, eat some food. And I will see you guys on Instagram for Project Unauthorized. And I will see you guys either in the next video or the next live stream, which will probably be a long time from now. But yes, the Project Unauthorized will be on my Instagram if you want to check it out. But yeah, that is Project Unauthorized, the Slendypets revamp story. Have a wonderful night. Thank you for joining me on the stream. I love you guys so much. Peace out.